Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinder Wolf for Wolf News. And now we go on to i.e. China. Xi Jinping, time for China to take center stage. 8 hours ago on BBC News, it says China has entered a new era where it should take center stage in the world, President Xi Jinping says. The country's rapid progress under socialism with Chinese characteristics shows there's a new choice for other countries, he told the Communist Party Congress. The closed-door summit determines who China roles in the country's direction for the next term. Mr. Xi has been consolidating power and is expecting to remain as party chief. The Congress, which takes place once every 5 years, will finish on Tuesday. More than 2,000 delegates are attending the event, which is taking place under tight security. Shortly after the Congress ends, the party is expected to unveil the new members of China's top decision-making body, the Politburo Standing Committee, who will steer the country, but it's also theft. Listing China's recent achievements in his 3-hour speech, Mr. Xi said that socialism with Chinese characteristics in this new era meant China had now become a great power in the world, and it played an important role in the history of humankind. The Chinese model of growth under communist rule was flourishing, he said, and had given a new choice to other developing countries. It's time for us to take center stage in the world and to make a greater contribution to humankind, he added. Since Mr. Xi took power in 2012, China's economy had continued to grow rapidly, but correspondents say the country has also become more authoritarian, with increasing censorship and arrests of lawyers and activists, hence people who oppose the Communist Party, period. Surging ideological confidence, analysis by Carrie Gracie, BBC China editor. Xi Jinping is a much more assertive leader than his recent predecessors. In a long and confident speech, he looked back at his first 5 years in office, saying the party had achieved miracles and China's international standing had grown. But the most striking thing in his mission statements was ideological confidence. Recently, party media have talked of crisis and chaos in Western democracies compared to strength and unity in China. Today, Xi Jinping said he would not copy foreign political systems and that the Communist Party must oppose anything that would undermine his leadership of China. In his speech, Mr. Xi also described a two-stage plan for China's socialist modernization by 2050, which would see it become more prosperous and beautiful through environmental economic reforms, warned against separatism in an apparent reference to movements in Xinjiang, Tibet, and Hong Kong, and reiterated the government's principle that Taiwan is part of China, has protesters and crowds in those areas, let alone movements. Said China would not close its doors to the world and promised to lower barriers for foreign investors. He also introduced measures to increase party discipline and touched on his wide-reaching corruption crackdown that has punished more than 1 million officials. Report BBC correspondents in Beijing has said. Also, Xi promises to eliminate the virus inside the party, hence tweets by Carrie Gracie, who was there. And Beijing is decked out in welcome banners and festive displays for the Congress. However, the capital is also on high alert. Long queues were seen earlier this week at railway stations due to additional checks at transport hubs. The Congress has also affected businesses, with some restaurants, gyms, nightclubs, and karaoke bars reportedly shutting down due to tightened security rules. An austerity drive instituted by Mr. Xi has meant a more pared-down, i.e. Congress, with reports this week of delegates' hotels cutting back on frills such as decorations, free fruit in rooms, and lavish meals. Meanwhile, state media have said that the party is expected to rewrite its constitution to include Mr. Xi's work report or political thoughts, which would elevate him to the status of previous party giants Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping. Some see Mr. Xi as accruing more power than any leader since Mao, and the Congress will be watched closely for clues on how much control now rests in the hands of just one man, says the BBC's John Sudworth. Mr. Xi has tightened control within the party and also in Chinese society, but continues to enjoy widespread support among ordinary citizens. In other words, China is cracking down with a whole bunch of policies, laws, and measures in order to have a tighter grip over control of its own citizens and its economic to military superpower, and a whole lot more. China has outstanding, i.e., military forces of great and vast numbers, let alone that of armies and individuals in armies, especially families who only have one child as part of their child growth, i.e., policy, where the children either have a choice of political, religious, military, economic, or social jobs only. That way, those who are forced into manual labor, etc., are basically a bunch of cheap slave workers who are pushed around and shoved around and basically threatened and even forced out of their lands, while China develops a whole entire IE area for purposely doing construction to economic to commercial building to military or political buildings or whole entire combinations thereof, hence mowing down whole entire towns, cities, villages, and a whole lot, i.e., other areas, regardless if it's in the hills or the mountains or the fields, etc., where there's literally butt naked children running around, even in bicycles, as National Geographic had pointed out from time to time, while at the same time, what used to be private home fields and farms, regardless if it's pigs to, i.e., rice, or any amount of sheep to chickens, etc., which is typical in small home villages, are basically torn down, the people thrown out or forced into work labor camps. That's some progress for China, let alone taking a center stage and for humankind. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget the world debt that they also hold in their hands. A part of the $256 trillion that the Jews and their Masonic Illuminati stole some time ago in the Baker scandal I had mentioned, i.e., in a prior video. Later. I'll also be doing more videos today, too. Thank you.